Welcome back to the pregame as we're going to change things up just a little bit here. It's final time that we'll be able to do the Bearcast as we won't be able to broadcast from the Unidome next weekend. But right now joined by several members of this Bear squad, including Coach Pedersen. Coach, Monday night, Little Rose Bowl. You come out, very emotional, very hard-fought game. Come away 42-27. That was a great high school football game. Very rewarding to come out with that victory.
Well, Pella, they had a great football team, and we played our hearts out, and we deserved to win that football game. And the thing that really stands out about this football team is how resilient they are. They just don't panic. They just keep coming to work, and that's what happened again last night. It was 21-21 late in the third quarter, and all of a sudden we kind of kicked some fanny, and that's what it's supposed to be. I thought our conditioning really showed last night.
Well, 21-21, Coach mentioned, and Hunter Wargo's here right now. And Hunter, you get that kickoff at the 10-yard line. To me, it looked like you saw it right away. It looked like there was a huge crease from your blockers, and boom, you just turned on the Jets. Take us through that kick return to get into the end zone.
Well, right when I got the ball, I heard Butch in my head singing, "Hit the seam, Wargo." He says that every time during practice. And I saw it. They opened up a huge hole, and it was just easy from there.
And he took off, showed the Jets all-state track speed. His teammate Cooper Koenig, all-state track as well, and able to turn on the Jets a couple times. Talk about, Cooper, the way that things came out. You started off, Luke got a big 55-yard touchdown, defense gets a stop, you get right down the field, get in the end zone again. How important was that to really establish some confidence early for that offense?
It's always good just to get the guys going, get some cushion, and build the momentum, especially having everyone going nuts on the sidelines. It's a pretty good momentum for us.
Looked like things started to slow down, turned into a defensive struggle for a while. Did that start to change the mindset or how you guys were feeling with getting stopped a couple of times or having to be a turnover here or there?
No, it's just we have to battle through adversity, kind of play the field position game, and if we have to punt, then we have to punt. And then we know our defense. We have a lot of confidence in our defense to make stops and make them punt back to us.
Well, like we said, Coach, going in, we were expecting a high-powered shootout game. That second quarter really started to bog things down. It was helped a lot by the fact that the Bears came up with a couple of big fumble recoveries. Talk about the effort, especially, I think it was Luke, right at the goal line knocked one out, and then right before halftime, Finnegan as well, being able to keep them out of the end zone.
In big games like that, the turnovers are huge, and field position was huge, and I thought we did a great job of that. We turned the ball over. I think that we had 2 interceptions and maybe 3 fumble recoveries. There's 5 turnovers, and I think that was a huge factor in this game.
Well, and you talk about those interceptions. Right after Hunter with that interception or the kick return, 2 or 3 plays later, there's Devin Kindon. Read the defense exactly the way he needed to, picks the pass up off the floor, goes into the end zone. That was another big, huge momentum shift right there.
There's no question about it, and we adjusted our secondary on the second half, and we ran more man than we normally do. But we're a good man team, and we're not afraid to do that. And I thought that really slowed them down a lot and kind of forced them to to run it, and they had trouble running against us.
Well, Hunter, you were back there all night long. Coming in, you see a guy that throws for over 260 yards per ball game as a defensive back. I mean, does that change the way you prepare, or were you just focused on what Coach was telling you?
I just listen to the coaches and make sure I do my job.
What types of things, though, were you seeing things? Did you talk with the coaches about some of the adjustments that were made, or how was that able to really start to slow that passing game down?
Yeah, the coaches came up with most of it, but then we talked about the deep drag, and we had to keep the ball away from 23.
That was a key. And Cooper, you got out there a little bit defensively as well. I know you've probably been lobbying Coach since the first day of practice to be able to do that. But what's that like for you to be able to get out there in that situation and do what you can to help the team win no matter what side of the ball it's on?
Like you said, I'm going to do whatever it takes to help the team win. And, if it's going out on defense and shutting down some good receivers or making a tackle in the open field, I'll do it. I'll put the team before myself.
Team effort all the way around, and I think the other thing, Coach, that really started to translate in that second half, Devin Kindon was the guy that I noticed a lot. Seemed like he put the team on his shoulders. Offensively, he made some big runs really hard. He had that interception. He was doing everything, special teams, and then defensively. I mean, it seemed like he remembered what the pads were for. He was starting to lay the lumber in that second half.
There's no question when we go out and we really attack people, that's when we're at our best. And I've said that all year long. When these guys go out and play smash-mouth football, somebody's going to feel it by the end of the game. And I think they were really banged up. And they had a great quarterback. He did a lot of really good things for them, and they're very well coached. And we were extremely happy last night.
Well, you get the win, move on to the final 8. It's the quarterfinals. Another quick turnaround. Talk a little bit about that balance, knowing that the challenge is going to get a little stiffer each time you move on in the playoffs, but you only have 3 days to get ready again. How do you balance that rest with getting these guys ready to go for a big game Friday night?
Well, first of all, we're not going to condition at all, and I usually condition these kids all the time, but we're not going to condition this week at all. We're going to keep their legs fresh. They need to get home. They need to eat properly. They need to get some sleep and get some rest, and we're going to try to do all that stuff. We're not going to have a lot of contact in practices. We're going to keep their legs fresh for them all, the rest of the season.
Well, Hunter, how is that for you guys as players? I mean, obviously, me being 35, it's a little different to recover on a night, whereas you guys, 17, 18, 19 years old, it's a little bit easier. What's that like, though? You played a game Monday night. You're back out here going pretty decent practice on Tuesday. How hard is that to balance that preparation with the rest time?
It's really easy because the coaches conditioned us hard all year, and it made us really, really good in shape, so it made it pretty easy.
Now, Cooper, I remember when I was playing 20 years ago, we would always hear those first 2 or 3 practices, Coach Pedersen say, hey, you're doing these hills, you're doing these caterpillars, you're doing these cross fields, so that when you get to those games in November, you're ready to go. Are you feeling that effect now?
Oh, definitely. I mean, when guys that we're playing against got their hands on their knees and they're tired in the fourth quarter and, we're burying the ball on them, I mean, it's living proof right there.
And it translates 11-0 right now, quarterfinals Friday night. You take on Regina, rival team that we haven't played in a while, Coach, but you know what the staff's about. You know what this game's going to mean to a lot of people. But like Jason Miller said a little bit ago, it's another football game with a chance to go to the Unidome. What are you expecting Friday night?
Well, it's going to be a great football game. We're going to go over there. We're not going to be intimidated by anybody. We're going to go play as hard as we possibly can. We're going to let the chips fall where they may. And I'm very proud of this football team. A lot of people at the beginning of the year had no idea they were going to win 11 games. And they've done that, but they want more. They're hungry and they want more. So we're going to go over there and try to do our best job Friday night.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Gentlemen, thank you very much, and we'll be looking forward to it here coming up. That is the pregame interview. We'll be back with more of the Bearcast. This is WestBranchFootball.com.